Hello. So, I just want to come on here and do a short live on what can we do to help our own starving community. A lot of times we don't think about there's people right up under our nose, next door, down the street, that single mother with 6 kids, or just a struggling mother, or maybe that elderly woman or couple next door that can't get out as much as they would like. A lot of times we make, you know, a dinner or something, and the next day we don't want that anymore, and we just pitch it in the garbage. If it's edible and you can give it to someone or make something else out of it, let's do that. Because a lot of times we see on TV, social media, these starving kids and stuff, and the ones that care, because there's some that do not. But I'm talking to the ones that do. What can we do differently before we pitch it in the garbage? There's someone in your apartment building, neighbor, that could use that. That homeless person that you see all the time, um, you could take it and give it to them. But a lot of times we don't think like that. I know I used to didn't think like that either. I used to just, throw it in the garbage. But we think about um, the ones that have a heartbeat. Like, I wish I could help these kids or these people. You can, right in your community, your vicinity, your area, your neighborhood, next door. You know, there's so many things that you could do to distribute and help someone in need that is starving. There's people out here, there's kids out here starving, that their parents are on drugs, that they can't control. We see them every day. You ever think that maybe I'll take it to them? You know, we just don't think like that. We just throw the food in the garbage, being wasteful. If you don't want to, give it to someone else. These are just some ways you can help. I mean, there's many ways you can help. You can, go and take food to homeless people at the shelters, different things. I mean, then throwing it in the garbage, being wasteful. Just because we don't want it and we're able to go purchase more food or buy something else, there's people that cannot. And they're right up under your nose. And we don't even think about, you know, um, helping our neighbors. Um, there's just ways, that some of us, let's think differently. Let's not just be wasteful and throw food in the garbage. Let's think about, who can we give it to? You know, throwing stuff in the garbage just because you don't want it anymore or you don't have a taste for it. There's people that's starving, that's hungry, especially children and homeless people, and people, disabled people, elderly people, that you could take it to your neighbor, somebody. Think about that before you pitch it in the garbage. I know a lot of people that if it's like a day old or two, they just throw it in the garbage. It's still edible. Think about giving to somebody that could eat that day. Yeah. Hi, Carrot. Hello. Yeah, so I'm just talking about a topic about how wasteful we are and people are starving. We could do things to help our own community, whether it's our neighbor, someone in our apartment building, or someone we know that's homeless, anything like that. I know a lot of times we, those that have a heart be like, I wish I could help them starving kids over in Africa and different things like that. But you can help. This kids right next door to you that's hungry, that's starving. Their parents are on drugs. They can't do nothing about it. You never think like that. We don't think like that. Like before you throw it in the garbage, give it to somebody. We are very wasteful just because we can go get something else or we don't want it anymore. There's people that cannot do that. They wondering where their next meal is coming from, and you can be that help. But we don't think like that. We just throw it in the garbage. Hi, Yappy. You said your mom sold you for $30 when you was little? Oh wow, that's terrible. You said your mom was on drugs, sold me to some. Yeah, it's like it's kids out here, and it really breaks my heart to see kids, even at the grocery store, standing outside the grocery stores, want to carry your bags because they trying to make something to get something to eat. It's just sad. So think about these kids. Think about these elderly people. Think about these homeless people. You know what I'm saying? Even the ones on drugs. Think about the kids. And I'm not even excluding the ones on drugs because even though they're on drugs, they still is hungry. And if you're going to throw it in the garbage, you'd rather throw it in the garbage than to give it to them? That's insane. Yappy, you said I still can't get through the trauma. Oh, Lord, God bless you. God bless us all. You sure right about that? Yeah, crackheads still believe in God. Yeah. Yeah, but a lot of us, we see it on TV. All these starving kids and stuff, we the ones that care, we like, I wish I could help these kids. I wish I could do this. It's kids right in your neighborhood, up under your nose, that's starving, that's hungry. You said, Yappy, you said I was one of those children. Yeah. It breaks my heart. Like, we just so wasteful and we don't think about other people. We just, yeah. Yep. Yeah, you think about these kids. I mean, you see them all the time. You see that homeless person all the time. Before you throw that food in the garbage, that homeless person you see every day, or that child or those kids that you see running up and down the street. Before you pitch that food, you should think about giving it to them because a lot of these kids' parents are on drugs and everything, or their parents is just struggling. Yes, but people that have and don't worry about where their next meal is coming from, they don't even think about that. They just be like, oh, they just throw it in the garbage. And if it's still good and edible, somebody can eat that day, think about who in your neighborhood could use that food that day. That's how you can help. Because throwing it in the garbage, going to the dumpster, when somebody could have ate that food just because you don't want it, or you can afford to go buy, groceries like you want to and whatever you want, there's someone starving that could have ate that food. Let's change how we think about food. It, you know, it's just pitching it in the garbage. I know some people that it ain't even been open. It just says the date is past. Like a day or two, and they just throw it in the garbage. Ain't even been open. Ain't even been open. Yeah, the city should do more to support. That's true. Yep. They should do, like, honestly, like I'm saying, this is what this is about. It's that we do not think about other people. We might feel like, man, I wish I could help. But what you don't realize, that you can help, that you're being wasteful, throwing food in the garbage, when you can help in some kind of way by giving that food to someone to eat for that day or whatever. Yeah. And the city should help more, as Yappy says, to support more. But as we can't do nothing about what the city don't do, we can help each other, our neighbors. We can, help our elderly neighbors, and people that's disabled, the innocent kids that can't control their parents' behaviors, or maybe just they have parents that's struggling. And I mean, this is real, y'all. I mean, for real, it's so many kids that's hungry. It's a lot of single people that's hungry. They're working two jobs and still can't eat. They trying to pay their bills, they rent, they car note, and it's a struggle, and they just wonder, like, I'm doing all this for what? And I still can't eat. Yeah. So a lot of us is very wasteful, and we don't think twice about throwing away food. Yeah, Yappy, it be so much food. Oh my goodness. Now you saying something now, because a lot of people don't know, and I know a couple that dumpster died, Yappy, and it be so much food, like so much food in them dumpsters. You ain't lying about that. It's a lot of food. But see, the thing with the companies, the stores, they write it off on their taxes. They don't want to donate it, and maybe some of them do, but they don't want to donate it or give it away. But this is the way the world is. It's so much food. Y'all, if y'all don't know somebody, I don't know somebody that's starving or homeless, them dumpsters full of food. And they ain't even been open. And the dates are not that far away. You said something right there, Yappy. Thank you, Yappy. God bless you too. Anthony, you said we got to get back to our roots and learn how to garden and whatnot. You right about that. That's true. That is true. I grew up with my grandmother, and I remember when we planted a garden, and we had everything in that garden. Because now when you go to the grocery stores and you buy fruit and vegetables and stuff like that, they'll spoil out before you can eat them all. And we had an apple tree. We had two apple trees. We had a cherry tree, and we had a plum tree, and we had a full garden with every vegetable that you could think of in that garden. But you sure enough, we got to get back to that. That's the truth, to growing your own food. And another thing, knowing what's in your food. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fresh, um, you know? And so that is so true. We need to get back to the roots, because that's what I grew up on, gardening. Yep, we do. We really do. We need to get back to our roots. Anthony said it. Our roots. That is so true. Yes. And stop buying these things out the grocery store. Um, if we can if you have space where you can do gardens, that's the best thing for you. And it's another thing that you need to do, because there is going to come a time that if we think we starving now, oh, you already see how the prices in the grocery stores are going. You can get a few things, and it's $100 and some dollars, and you ain't even got nothing. Ain't gonna last you 2 days, maybe. I mean, it ain't nothing. So, yep. So the best thing for us is, if we can, start growing our own foods. It'd be the best thing for us. Um, and we can also help that way too. We can distribute what we done grown to people in need. And you go and buy this stuff in the grocery store, it spoil out so fast in the refrigerator before you can eat it. Yes. Yeah. So y'all, that's what I'm talking about. It's just something that was on my mind, how wasteful we are. And when I'm talking about wasteful, excuse me, y'all, I'm talking about wasteful. As Yappy was saying, I think Yappy gone now, but there's so much food. And even, let me tell you something, even in the pizza places and stuff like that, it's tons of pizza boxes. Instead of, but they ain't gonna give it away. You know how that is. But in them dumpsters, all them pieces, stacks of pieces in a dumpster. Every piece of topping you could think of, they throw it right in. It's just like how the grocery stores do. I had worked in the warehouse before, and when I tell you, so Yappy said something right there. Them dumpsters, I mean, any grocery store company, even like the dollar stores and stuff like that, those dumpsters are full of products. I mean, when I tell you, not just food, but everything that you buy at the store, if it's outdated, they dump it because they get new stuff in it. But the dumpsters, you don't think about it. Them dumpsters is full of products, full of items, and that's why some people dumpster dive. I know a couple that been living off of dumpster diving for years, and they get all kinds of other things. I mean, like stuff you go to the store, shopping center, and buy. It's in those dumpsters. Yes, Anthony, you said the Bible says a loaf of bread will be a full day's work, and we're getting to that. Anthony, we already there. You can't barely buy eggs, and like you said, a loaf of bread. We already there. We living in that time right now. We already there. There's going to come a time where we all might have to put our little rations together just to make it. It's getting close to it. You ain't never lied when you said that. Yep. A whole day of work is worth a loaf of bread. That's what it is. That's truth. That's truth right there. And everybody is noticing the prices of food. So being wasteful in 2025, if you don't want it, give it to somebody else. But a lot of people is starting to come up with ideas of how to reuse leftover things. You know what I'm saying? Because being wasteful right now, you can, like I said, you can barely buy food now. It's so high. And food that's health wise, that's beneficial to you. It's crazy. So throwing food in the garbage, that's out right now. I mean, if it's no good, that's you gotta throw that away. But if it's something you cooked the day before or whatever, or something you bought that is a day old or something, you can still use that. Don't throw that in the garbage. Anthony says, very true. We want to procrastinate away. It's getting bad when the white people starting to complain. It's like that for everybody, Anthony. I mean, unreal. I mean, you go to the grocery store and you be like, I ain't even got nothing, and it's $200. You be like, it was a time where we can spend $100 to $200, and we at least got, a week's worth of food or a little bit, you know, to last, but not no more, because even the small stuff, the side stuff, the prices then went up on everything. So by the time you buy the main things and the stuff that for you to cook it and all that, it's over. You ain't got nothing. Oh, you said catastrophe. Oh, okay. Yep. So that's what we talking about. Anthony says, I be buying individual meals for about 75 cents a week, and then I free it if I'm not eating it fast enough. Yeah, it's rough. I hear you, Anthony. It's like, yes, I hear you. I was just talking to somebody last night that was just feeling like, they working and they doing everything, and God's not answering their prayers. They just working to pay bills, and they still ain't got enough to eat. It was so heartbreaking for me. It was so heartbreaking for me to hear that, but it's true. Is that so a lot of people out here working hard, and they still don't have enough to eat. They still can't put food on the table. And it would be really bad if they had kids, but the person I was talking to, they didn't have kids, but it's still rough for single people. That's how bad it's getting. You said, Anthony, you said I meant freeze. Okay. Okay, but I hear what you saying, Anthony. I hear it loud and clear. Loud and clear. But yeah, we used to throw food away like it wasn't nothing. Didn't even think nothing about it. And then, to be honest, some of us was throwing food away that we shouldn't been throwing the food away, because then when we ain't got nothing, we like, man, like, you got to use, like, now, you got to use everything. And if you can't use it, give it to somebody else who can. This stuff right here, it really bothers me. It really does. It just bothers me when I see people being wasteful. And I used to be that person when I didn't know better, didn't even think about it. And it really bothers me, because I see so many people and kids and elderly people and homeless. It just really does something to me. Like, don't do that. If you don't want to, give it to somebody. I mean, that stuff just bothers me. I mean, to the core. You know what I mean? Because you can go buy something else. There's people out here, and then you can barely buy what you buy. I mean, unless you got money and you could really buy what you want to, okay, whatever. But still, in that matter, if you care, we know a lot of people don't, but the ones that do, that's who I'm talking to. Let's do it different. Don't just throw it away because you can buy something else. Give it to somebody. Oh, Aston, you said love your earrings. Thank you. Thank you, Aston. Yep. Yeah, that stuff just burns me. That's just, I don't know. I just had to get on here and talk about it, because that burns me up. Like, people just don't think about it. And like I said, I've known people that throw packages of meat and stuff that ain't even been open. And it could be chicken, roast, steaks, They just throw it away, be a whole garbage bag full of it. And people don't care enough to say, I got a neighbor that I can make them something to eat out of this, and let me just make them something to eat and take it to them. I mean, it's just because something says expired like a day or two don't mean it's not edible. You could make something that day or whatever, and it would be perfectly fine. I'm not talking about spoiled food or nothing like that. I'm not talking about nothing like that. But I know people that do that in a lot of things because they never had to worry about their next meal. Oh yeah, Anthony, you right about that. Yep, you right about it. Yep. Yep, you right, Anthony. Anthony says, but it is dangerous to judge from everybody. Some people be on some witchy shit. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yep, that's true. But we can do what we can. We can do what we can. I'm gonna start like making you when I can. Do what you can. Make some meals for you know the homeless people. The where I live, I'm living in a downtown area. Be a lot of them, and that's just something I like to do. And you can make something out of nothing, and somebody can you can put something together and feed somebody. You don't have to want it if you're looking to help. But like I said, some people don't care either way. Like some people don't care what I'm talking about right now. You know what I'm saying? They don't. It don't matter. It's just something that was on my mind. Like we need to change how we do stuff. How we look at food, how we just throw it away. That's just a touchy topic for me. Like I can't stand to see a child hungry. I can't. That's a sensitive thing for me. Anybody that know me, know I don't care nothing about feeding nobody. Nothing. I don't care if you're a crackhead. I don't care what you do. All people gotta eat. I don't care nothing about that. Some people like don't be giving them that. Why not? That's what killed me. I know they on drugs, but they still have to eat. But you will throw something in the garbage than to give it to the drug addict. That is insane to me. Like that to me is just that don't got nothing to do with nothing. That's just crazy. But a lot of people will tell you don't do nothing. They on drugs. All da, 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 da. I don't care nothing about them being on drugs. I mean, they ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm gonna throw it in the garbage. So why can't I give it to them? You don't. I mean, don't tell me not to give somebody that's hungry. That yeah, they on drugs and they still hungry too. Yeah, they still hungry. You don't tell me not to feed somebody just because they on drugs. Drugs ain't got nothing to do with them being hungry. That stuff just bothers me. Well, excuse me. Anthony says, I feel you. If you're able to drop your pride and ask me for help, I'll give you something. If you was homeless, I'll be high too. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, a lot of people will tell me I got friends or family members, and somebody come up to me and be like, "You got $1 or whatever." And if I, go in my purse to give it to them, they be like yelling at me like, "Don't be giving them that." Da 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 da. You ain't gonna tell me. They just gonna go buy some beer or whatever. Okay. You want to drink too. I mean, they gonna do what they do anyway. So if it's on my heart, excuse me, y'all. If it's on my heart and I feel like I use discernment, and 9 out of 10, I've seen this person quite a few times. You know what I'm saying? One thing I know, yeah, they gonna get them a beer. And then after they've eaten drunk, they gonna want something to eat. Yeah, they sure is. And you can't tell me, well, I'm gonna throw $1 in the garbage, on something. If they go get a beer, they go get a beer. I didn't give it to them for whatever. I gave it to them for a whole nother reason. Whatever they do with it, and it's just $1. Sometimes they just be asking for 50 cents or something, trying to ante up for $1 beer. I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna give them that 50 cents. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to them. Anthony says, or whatever you want. Okay, wait. Or whatever you want to spend your money on. Then Anthony says in 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 8, and above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sin. One thing I know is that I'm not talking about what I just said, but I do know that when God blesses you with something, and like I said, I'm not talking about what I just said, but when God blesses you with something, or he gives you something, he wants you to share that blessing with others. And the blessings keep going. You know what I'm saying? So just say you can help somebody in a whole nother situation. Do that. Do that. Not saying that you're going to go out here just giving people things. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if there's a situation where you can help somebody and you have more than they have, or whatever the case is, you can't have a lot and not help nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's people out here that can help their family or friends or whatever, but they won't. And if they do, they won't help them enough to, they really won't give them the help they need, is what I'm trying to say. So y'all, yep, that's all it was just on my mind. Like, man, people was just, they don't care about other people. Anthony says, definitely true. That's why them celebrities losing their homes in Cali right now. The Bible speaks about it. You can't have all this and don't help nobody. You know what I'm saying? Your blessings that you get, you got to help somebody in some kind of way. They do speak about that, Anthony, in the Bible. You can't just hold all that for me, and you in a position to help somebody. That's what I'm saying. With us that have little, we can still help. Even the ones that has, little, we can still help in some kind of way. But some people that have little, they feel like, this is what Anthony, what you saying, like, It don't matter whatever you have. I'm not saying that you're gonna take everything that you have, but let's use the example of the widow that she gave two pennies, 2 cents. To others, it didn't mean nothing, but she gave from her heart, and she gave what she had, and that is exactly what God requires of us. We don't have to be, we don't have to have a lot to give. We can give in many ways. Yeah. And people, not people that really got money, or just have money where they can help. A lot of them don't even think about helping, others. They family, they neighbors, the homeless, nothing. They just think about all of what they can do more and get more. They don't think about helping no. That's why a lot of them, when they lose it, they lose their mind. They go crazy. You ain't help nobody. You ain't do nothing for nobody. Because in that same token, when you coming down, that person might be coming up that can help you. But because you didn't help nobody else, that's why a lot of them lose their mind. Yeah, that's true. That's why a lot of them lose their mind and don't know what to do and don't have nobody, because when they had it all, they didn't help nobody. They didn't do nothing to help nobody else when they had it. Yeah. I hope y'all having a good night, or whatever, wherever you are. I hope you having a good night, day, morning. I don't know where you guys from. But yeah, I just got on here. That it was just on my mind. It was bothering me. Like, people just like just be, wasteful. Don't think about nobody else. I live in an apartment building. If just say for instance I cook big meals or whatever, I'll make plates and give it to people. Yeah. Anthony says, but we in those times, the love of many have waxed cold. Sin is just rampant in the land at this point. The love and money can't lead to your downfall. Well, Anthony, yes. That's what I said. People don't care. They don't care nothing. Nobody care about nothing I'm talking about right now. They don't care. They don't care about nothing. They lovers of money. They're materialistic to the point where it's, they don't care about people in general. And yeah, like you said, it's basically people call. I mean, and especially social media, they don't care nothing about, what I'm saying? It's either you talking about something they want to hear or whatever the case is, but it don't matter. I'm talking about people that's in how to help your community that's starving and stuff. People don't care about their neighbors. And that's one thing that in the Bible it tells you, you must love your neighbors. Now, I'm not saying that's easy to do. I'm not saying that, but yeah, they don't care nothing about their neighbors and nobody else. They don't care about that old lady down the street that ain't got nobody to help her. They don't care about none of that. Nope, they don't care about nobody but themselves. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-mm. So yeah, we can do something. Whatever we can do will help. And it's right in your own community. Right next door. Right down the street. Around the corner. You know? You could do a lot of things. Like some people, it ain't got to be nothing expensive. You can make sandwiches and take them downtown where you live and pass them out to the homeless or whoever that might be in need. You can do that. If you're in a position of doing that, I don't know why you're not. But like I said, as many don't care or think like that. If you got it, ain't gotta be nothing expensive. You can make uh bologna and cheese sandwiches and some chips or something. If you want to help. But that's who I'm talking about. Talking to is the people that care and want to help. It's a lot of things you could do in helping your community. You can volunteer. I volunteer sometimes. Um, you can volunteer some places to help. Thank you, Anthony. You said yes, ma'am, but I'm subscribed. Have a wonderful day. You have a wonderful day too, Anthony. It was nice chatting with you. And thank you so much. Yes, you have a wonderful day too. Excuse me, y'all don't know where the light fell. Thank you, Anthony. Yep. Hello. Thank you for joining the live. I was just talking about how we can help our community, ways we can help. Um, I talked about a lot earlier, but you know, I was just talking about how we're wasteful and everything, and how we can just help a neighbor, um, kids in the neighborhood that their parents may be on drugs or something. Um, how we just throw food in the garbage with no thought. So I'm going to be ending this live, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night, morning, evening, wherever you're from. But until my next live, love, peace, and happiness. Bye now.